Hello and welcome to Brik Flix, the Blockland Video Review Show. My name is Mr.Annoying and I'm being joined here by Daffytitanic.
Hello, I'm Daffytitanic. I started in a few Blockland videos. I've been also directing and writing upcoming Blockland projects like Biohazard, Borderline Shenanigans, The Cut Reel.
We've decided to review a dual set of machinima films created by Felipe 1020, Mexican stories, with the original from 2010 and the remake from 2012. So, your thoughts on these, Daffy?
I've never heard of Mexican stories until Felipe approached me with an idea of making a sequel as a collaborative project. But when I first saw the original one, it brought me back to the time when machinimas weren't like movies and were just like regular videos with gameplay footage with a loose story. The remake is a showcase of how Felipe improved in those 2 years. But have they aged well, or are they a relic of a bygone era in Blockland history?
Well, let's analyze these films and find out. I feel like there's a lot I can criticize about these films, but not much I can complain about given the remake addressing most of the original problems, such as the drawn-out runtime, glaring plot holes, and weak motivation. The original lacked detriment due to the main character not being followed by the gangster. Now, the remake does address this, although the main character still has no reason not to shoot the gangster using the pistol he provided while he was still unarmed. And for that matter, there was no reason he needed to blow up the Cobra's base with a rocket launcher. He could have stepped out of the base, shot the leader from afar, and then made off with the money. But enough about the story. I would like to comment on the lackluster angles used in the remake. They look a little too edited with post-production. Your thoughts?
The classic had issues when it comes to writing and pacing. Given the standards back then, it would have been a decent video, but without nostalgia goggles on, it is really flat. Our main character doesn't get much motivation outside not wanting to die. By going after the Cobra gang, there are some plot holes like him suddenly getting a rocket launcher without establishing where he got it from. The epic win parts feel really unneeded as it only dates the video. The remake had remedied those problems with better pacing and runtime, but lost some features like the changing of faces. The action scenes are an improvement compared to a classic. The choreography of the final showdown was quite sloppy, as it was confined to a small room, which cripples the potential for better choreography.
Spot on. Now let's get to our comments about the film. I'll come clean. I think both are great. The original is innovative for its time, engaging, and memorable. The use of facial expressions add a whole separate depth of character typically unseen in Blockland videos. And the maps are utilized great. It stands the test of time, no doubt. Taking away the facial animations is a bit of a step backwards, but we can assume it could have been done due to complications relating to using actors, which the original didn't appear to.
I'll admit, the classic had parts where it really shined back then, with the facial expressions that help create some depth and feeling for the characters. The maps are used well for the environment and atmosphere the video was conveying. The remake improves it with a short runtime, better video quality, and still a satisfying experience like you would see from Felipe's other videos. Seeing parts of the facial expression removed is saddening, but likely because of how impractical it got for the actors.
It's time to move on to our final notes. Well, for a set of videos made about a decade ago, they age like fine wine. The action is clean, the story is simple, and the plot holes are nothing more than pores on the face of an entertaining video. After I finished watching each film back-to-back several times over, I rated each picture. Using my 10x10 scoring system, both videos were rated astoundingly equal at 54 out of 100, both for different reasons.
The classic one is quite slow, but it's an interesting period piece to look back at how Blockland films were like back in the day, and how Felipe's works were like in those days. The remake is decent on many levels and better than the classic. It really shows how Felipe improved as a filmmaker. If someone asked me which one I should watch, I would say the remake over the original. The original would be an interesting viewing experience from 10 years ago.
Well, I take it you recommend these films to the viewers, and I can't say that I don't. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Brik Flix, the Blockland Video Review Show, and a special thanks to Felipe 1020. Join us again next time.